Hi, welcome back to This Mama Loves, and today I am going to do a weigh-in video. So, um, I think in my last one I did say that I lost zero point 0.2 pounds, and that was after a gain, which was after me getting better. Um, and so my appetite was back and I was eating a bit more normal. Um, Most of that time while sick, though, again, it was a lot of fast food and things like that because we couldn't cook. Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. And so this week, I would say this week was a solid week on Blue. So last week when I lost the 0.2 pounds, it was uh, on Blue. I was on Blue already. I had switched to Blue after um, I recovered from my sickness. And so I would say this week went better. I will definitely say, here's my takeaways for right now being on Blue. I notice that there is a difference in my weight loss. Part of it probably is because my body's getting used to a new plan. Um, so that could be it too. But also, in conjunction with that, I have noticed the late night snacking. Let me tell you. Okay, so the late night snacking. Um, there were a few days last week where I didn't have any late snacks, and I did a lot better. I did a lot better. Um, what I do notice also is, and again, I'm gonna chalk it up for now that my body's getting used to the new plan. Um, that when I don't snack late at night, I'm not even talking binging. I'm just late snacking. Um, there's a difference in the weight. So I'll say that. Let me get my phone so I can exactly have. Um, gonna let you know what my results were for this past week. When I weighed in, I my weigh-ins are on Saturdays, so we're already in the middle of the, you know, we're already in the middle of the week. Um, okay, so for my weigh-in Saturday, I am down 3.2 pounds. Now, like I said, so the late night snacking, I've noticed a few things. One is that when I don't snack and like I weigh myself the next day, I notice a bit more of a drop in weight than when I was on green. Two, I have noticed this past week, 2 weeks, also the type of things I'm snacking on. What I've noticed especially is if it's a salty snack, like because I made nachos, what was it, last week, Tuesday? And so we've had extra nachos in the house, tortilla chips, extra tortilla chips, and very salty, obviously. Um, what I've noticed is that the nights that I have that as a snack, I have a large gain the next day. Like anytime I late night snack, I have a gain the next day. It can correct itself if I'm not snacking or if I'm snacking on more healthier things. So I will say that I have definitely noticed that like nachos, like salty, so really salty things. So I'm thinking that's more water weight that I'm putting on, because of all the salt, because it does go down like the next day or so. So my takeaways is that blue seems to be where I need to be right now. And this is week what? Let me see. Is this my 3rd week? I think this is I think I'll be going into my 3rd week on blue. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Okay, so I started on blue April 18th. Okay, so I think that's like 3rd week. So yes, so what I've noticed is that on blue, I seem to be doing really well on blue right now. I have carried over with being on green, things like portion control. I've learned what it looks like, basically, in essence, a serving size that I need to have, or portion size for 0 point foods. I don't really portion size fruit, but I mean things like if I'm eating chicken or seafood or things like that, eggs. Like I can't just do 2 eggs every day for breakfast. But what I do is an egg, and then I mix in some egg white with it, which is less calories that I'm taking in than if I was having 2 eggs. So there's that. Yes, I didn't say come in. Go outside.
The door is locked and I was reading.
All right, go on inside.
I'm reading.
Tell Deanna to make lunch. Deanna, you just heard me tell her to tell you that. 1 minute, please. Go inside.
There's one flashlight under the door.
Isabel?
Yeah?
Go inside. These girls being home this long, and we haven't even gotten into summer yet. I'm trying to be so very patient. So very patient. I'm drinking a Premier Protein and coffee with a little bit of silk coconut milk. So I don't even remember where I was. Okay, well, hopefully I get there. So being on blue, they argue a lot right now. They argue a lot more right now. Like, so I have carried over portion controlling in with the blue, and I think that was my biggest issue when I was on freestyle before they changed it to the 3 plans you can pick. And not that I wasn't losing weight on freestyle, I did lose weight on freestyle, but I did have a big issue with portion control. So for 0 point foods, I was like, not that I was wilding out with it. Like, don't get me wrong. If I had 2 eggs for breakfast, I didn't go and then have, eggs for lunch and dinner. I didn't do that. I knew I was fully aware of um, calories in food. You know, you can't just all day long, I'm going to eat all these 0 point foods and expect to also do well or to expect fast weight loss and I don't mean fast like, drastic. I'm just saying, you would do better portion control. So for me, portion control is key. I about the size of a chicken breast, where on green I would have to figure that into my points. On blue, I know about the size that is good for me. Um, and if it's a bigger size, I might pull back some on whatever my carb side dish is or opt not to have a carb side dish. There were a lot of times when I would make dinner and I would not have a carb with it, or carb heavy side with it. So for the family, if I made pork chops, I would make, pork chops for all of us, and I would make rice or potatoes. And sometimes I would opt not to have the rice or the potatoes. I would just have the pork chop and I would load up on vegetables. So that is something that I'm going to be carrying over into this blue plan. So realizing, I think I'll be successful as long as I keep those kind of factors in mind. I you know, take into account the size of that lean protein, um, what I'm eating. A lot of times now, what I've been doing on green is, and my husband is a beef eater. He's a huge beef eater. He also has way more points than I do in a day. Way more points. So he's like, this man can eat. Well, he's a big guy, and he's like 6'1", 6'2", I think 6'2". He's tall. He's a foot and change taller than me because I'm 5 feet. Um, he can put some food away. And him being on Weight Watchers, he still eats a lot of food. But he's a little bit more okay, so sometimes I'm there like, I think he might not need that next bowl of cereal. But anyway, so taking into account all of that, portion size and everything, um, yeah, it will affect if it's a big piece of meat. So it's like a big chicken breast. Yeah, I'm gonna probably scale back on those carb heavy sides. Same thing with corn and um, I think green peas also had points. Beans had points on green. Um, well, snow peas has points on both plans, on blue and green, and probably on purple. I don't know. I assume it's the sugar content because it is sweet, and I don't know how starchy it is. I really don't, but I know like corn and green peas are starchy vegetables. So those kinds of vegetables have point values. So I know that on blue, I can't just load up my plate with corn or load it up with the peas and think, well, it's 0 points. I'm good. So it's things like that. So those are my takeaways from being on green and then coming back to the blue plan. How I can better adjust and better plan out my meals. What I have been doing, which has been very successful for me so far, is pre-planning my day. So in the morning, after I pull myself together mentally, I take my phone and I put in what I plan to eat for the day: breakfast, lunch, dinner. Usually it goes as planned. Um, Sometimes not, but usually it goes as planned. So that also tells me how many points I might be working with if I decide to have a snack. The other day, and this is my biggest problem because, like I said, when I'm up, everyone is asleep, and I'm watching my shows, I start to get, peckish. And the other day, I made potato salad, mainly for my husband. He hasn't had potato salad in a while, and he loves potato salad. He loves my mom's potato salad. I make my potato salad pretty much like how my mom makes hers. He swears by my mom's. I'm like a close second as far as he's concerned. So like anytime my mom visits, she has to make potato salad. When we went out there to visit my family one time, um, she had to make potato salad. So, but I mean, by extension, when I go out to visit my family, I have to make mac and cheese. But neither here nor there. So, um, I did not make a big batch because usually we make like a ginormous bowl, you know, of potato salad, and me and him just tear through it. So I did not do that this time. I made a smaller bowl, like a what do you call, like those Ziploc plastic bowls, Tupperware bowls, the round one. Um, I made one of that full, and I think I had like 5 potatoes in there because usually we do up the whole bag of potatoes, like a carton of eggs, you know, all of that. So I'm gonna tell you how many potatoes I put in a potato salad. Now I put this as, oh wait, let me go back. What is today's date? The 6th. Right. Okay. Oops. So I put this as 6 servings. Um, I feel like for me, it would be less servings than that. My husband, I don't know, because he does not, his biggest thing is weighing and measuring. He does not unless I'm there to say, weigh it, measure it. So he'll go in that kitchen and he'll just scoop out a mound of this potato salad on his plate. But anyway, so I put in the recipe builder as 6 servings, which I feel like really could be more servings than that. But just as a safety net, point wise, I put 6 servings and it comes up to 6 points a serving. And so I put it in grams. Okay. So I didn't put like how many potatoes. I used 545 grams of russet potatoes and 6 eggs and a cup of um, mayo, light mayonnaise. And then he has to have relish. See, now I don't eat the relish. Pick it out. I like the flavor it adds. I don't like biting into it. I'm weird with my food. Don't judge. um, so, and relish and mustard, and well, mustard has like no points. But what else was there? Relish and mustard, and then like other seasonings and stuff like that. I don't count points for seasonings. A lot of seasonings are 0 points. Some have sugar, so those will count as points. I don't count them as points. But anyways, so my potato salad is 6 points a serving. So the other night, um, watching my shows, decided I needed a snack. So, and I tracked it. I did track it. Um, today Wednesday? That was last night. The other night. It was last night. So I tracked the serving of the potato salad for 6 points, and I still have 5 points for the day after that. So I'm finding that as I'm tracking, and I had a very, like, I had a 1 point dinner. And I only counted as 1 point because I made a smoothie. I don't count smoothies for points because I'm drinking the fruit. It was a one serving, like about like what this would be. Um, I wasn't really hungry after that, and that was like around 6 when I had it, or six, between 6 and 7. And my late night snack was legit like midnight or something. Like, had I been asleep, I would have never had that potato salad, but I wasn't. I'm watching TV and I'm like, I could go for something to eat. But knowing that, I did have a lot of points left over. And so even though I had that potato salad, on the scale this morning, I didn't see a gain. So I think to the amount of points I've had in the day, coupled with the snack, because a lot of the times those snacks also, while I have points and while I might be in that blue dot range, it's still putting me over my daily points. And that too, I think, is an issue for me. I think my biggest problem is going over. She does not miss a beat with that phone. Y'all heard that. Y'all are my witness. That was one ring. That was one ring. And she got that phone. um, but anyways, it's like I'm looking back on last week and my daily points are 25. I'm sorry, not 25, 23 points. And I had a few days where I was at 30. Um, but there were quite a few days when I was just over by like 2 points or 3 points. I think the amount I go over a day, but I had a blue dot every day last week. I had a blue dot every day. So, and the week before that, which is where I had that gain, um, I think that was the week I had a gain. No, I didn't have a gain, which was amazing because I had like 3 days that I did not have a blue dot. So, we'll see. So, I think that's it too. The amount I'm going over, um, point, over into my weeklies. Um, I need to not consume all my weeklies is a takeaway I have as well. Because a lot of times I consume all my weeklies. There have been a handful of times I've even been in the negatives for my weeklies. Um, but you know, um, so my takeaway is I have to watch my salt level, especially in my snacks. Um, how much I'm eating, point wise, how many weekly points am I consuming, and I have been successful these last 2 weeks of not binge snacking. I think I had one day last week when I did binge snack, but as a whole, for me, typically, I did really well not binge snacking. I did have late night snacks. There was a few days this week that I'm sorry, not this last week. My last weigh-in, um, before I weighed in on Saturday, that I did not have a late night snack at all. And those were days that I went to bed early. So there's that. So yeah. So I'm gonna chalk it up as a success. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I am at I am down. Um, I'm down 22.5 pounds. we'll see what this week brings. Who knows? We're only halfway through. So, but I am down 22.5 pounds, which is nice. Which is nice. So, I count that as a success. Okay, so I think that's it. So thank you for watching. Um, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.